Welcome yet again to the Motivational Maniac podcast. I go by the name of Thando Nkonyana. We have another guest on this show. She has been on 2 episodes, I think, previously. Started on season 3 when I started to make the show all about interviews. But when she called, I decided I'm going to answer. Nwabisa, you are such an amazing human being. I just want to start by saying that for the fact that you used my show to express who you were, it's something that I hold so dear. Sometimes I even ask myself, how did it get to a point where you were able to be vulnerable and actually tell your truth? And to me, it's clear evidence of what energy I'm giving you as a person and also my intentions. Because to be honest, Maniacs, I never asked Nwabisa to go on the show and say all the things that she was saying. But that is what she was going through at the time. So I just wanted to thank you for being vulnerable and open about who you are, for being authentic, because this is not scripted, guys. And I think many of you have listened to the show, and I want you to listen with an open mind, because Nwabisa, I always try to remind my audience that don't look at me as the individual, try to listen to the message I am trying to put out there, because I'm only a vessel. And anyone that I do have on the show is someone that I hold dear, and I want them to live and tell the truth. You said you have something on your mind, so can you just tell me where you would like us to start on this episode?
I think they should sound effect.
I'm going to start working on that, yes.
I think the reason why, Thando, I tend to be open with you is because of you make me want to speak my truth. You make me not want to sugarcoat things, and I tend to sugarcoat my truth. Make it colorful. Because I feel like sometimes black and white hurts. So I tend to make it very colorful. But other than that, yeah, Teta man, and I'm the Teta. I think you're such a key the Teta, and there was a Teta now. No one say already closing another 90, but I can always open my tap and let it out and say, okay, I know.
It's okay. And it's okay, man.
It's okay. But firstly, I just want to say, I want to touch upon what we were talking about, how a year past, or this year, last year was not the same.
Mm-hmm.
A lot has changed. There's a lot I have to be thankful for. I'm very thankful.
Beautiful. Starting off with gratitude.
I am very thankful, and I think I owe it to myself to say that on a daily, because they are new back. Because last day I was living in a family house. Look at me this year.
Okay.
Girl got her own crib. Yes, no matter the circumstances that got me to this place, but it's growing.
That's so beautiful,
It's
man.
growing, and scary, but
It has to be scary, man.
we are comfortable because ideas license, But as long as I do it.
Yeah, we just have to learn to be uncomfortable, because obviously we can't be complacent and remain in one place and think, oh, I hope things will turn differently. I hope izinto are not going to be as bad as they seem. We just can't live with hope only. We have to understand that through action. And obviously it's going to be scary, man. In everything, SSINs and I feel, but we shouldn't be afraid of going out there and exploring ourselves. The mother of my child told me that you need to go out more. And at that time, when she was telling me all of this, I thought it was coming from a place of, oh, she don't want me anymore in her life and in Chalo. But it's because she wanted me to explore. And most importantly, I just want to touch on grief, man. Because up until I reached out to her and I told her, I feel like I've been unfair on you, in a sense that I didn't give myself time to grieve my own mother, and that affected our relationship. I'll never stop respecting that woman because she made me a father, Namhlanje. She took care of me, and that's all that she did. She loved me. But going back on gratitude, we need to be thankful for everything that has happened, because that is a propeller to where we're supposed to go, shaping. And the amount of things that I had to convince myself of throughout this year, that, yo, bro, the work requires you. Ain't nobody else gonna turn up except you. Yeah, you need to show up, bro, even in the days where you don't feel like showing up. So she still plays that important part, and I hold her so dearly. But back to grief, man. She's the one of the people that highlighted, Uguti, you need to deal with the loss of your mom, and you need to accept that it happened. Yeah, but you can't be emotionally driven by, like I said, when you find yourself sad. And last week, this thing happened, and I reached out to her. She said, it's okay for Bawyam Kumbuda, yes, but just know I'm going to be here for her. In a sense, and then that be grateful, and even though you have lost her physically, she still spiritually is there. You just need to, was back in a position where you can access her. Because I pray, and I give praises to her for as long as that have happened in life, whether bad or good. Because when shit is going down, you don't see what is supposed to happen here up until you get to a point where emotionally you're detached. And I think on the very first time I had a chat with you on the show, I talked about that, where I was not emotionally in a place. Now I can see it from a distance to say, okay, there was good intention there. There's a reason why she didn't tell us. She had a chronic disease because of the damage that it would do to us. So, diabulela, man, for her giving me life, and for the number Maran protector from all these turmoils. Because when you know something that can hurt you at one, like, what could it do to you? So everything happened the way it was supposed to. Yeah, boy.
As much as it was uncomfortable, or because of what it brought, the emotions and everything, but it had to happen. It had to go through that.
And it's shaping me, man, in ways I didn't even know were possible. Because now, come out of cliches, we say, man can't, man can't, man can't. And yet your emotions are at the door. They're like, nigga, this is how you feel. Nigga, you can run away. Yeah, well, away. So I don't like living according to cliches, because now you are learning life on a daily basis, like you are here for the first time. You need to forgive your mother and father, Thando, because they were also doing it for the first time. Bongo also mentioned this as well on the show. Bruh, it was the first time now. They didn't know any better. So we should forgive them. And Singabinjingab.
I think you once spoke about this when we had an interaction regarding my mom and everything, and how I grew up essentially with her challenges with alcohol and everything, and how everyone's like, okay, it's not like she's lived prior.
Yeah, we did talk about this, man,
and somehow it made me look at my mother differently. It made me have a certain level of respect that I lacked, that I didn't realize, that I had to look into myself now. You can't not about that in pain, which is not supposed to happen. And that was mainly because of how I initially grew up with the person that the picture she painted of herself on. And I didn't understand any other way or any other picture besides me, which is someone who is going to be drunk most of the times and not be able to provide or support me with anything. So there was a very much a lack of respect towards Mama that I had to acknowledge myself as well as a child. But you're not supposed to be doing this and that. This is not your family. Listen to you, I don't care how she grew up or how she brought you up, but this is the woman that brought life to you.
Yes.
I know.
Only because she's in the state, it means it gives you the right
to say whatever. So after that, I think immediately, that was not enough. Let me show more gratitude to the person that brought life to me. And at the end of the day, changing into somebody like past that, whereas all the actions have proven me way past her words.
She's still in your life, bro. You're still in your life. Remember,
people who would love to have these others in their lives. Whereas Nagin will still comes and chat the content tonight, and it's not best to go see people.
Yeah.
Because you're only in the back. But we because I had never managed shout. Typing deep. That's feel good to own. I'll kind of lie.
Ben, Jensen, got to go on.
That will stop out. General, because he had.
Yo, bro.
That all will endure shout.
You turned over, it's love, man. It's love. And yes, now I also reminisce on those things. There are days where I just look at my yard, I'm like, the yard can't be this dirty, and gone. And her friends would say, Baben Bona, sometimes I'm busy raking or I'm just taking out the weeds. Like, we want and it's your mother. I'm like, this is not nothing. This is not new. Like, they don't lie when they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Come now, I'm a person who likes to be like in touch with yonke that has happened. I think I disacknowledge because I don't like talking too much about my aunts because they're still in denial of what's happening. Borderlander, in someone's head, you are still that little child. But I'm no longer that child. I'm a child, but thinking I've grown. So I want them to embrace it all and age went up, bro.
Because I look at and so many things now look to go. I look Thando. But you will never give yourself the chance.
Of course, man. Of course, because you're dealing with your own demons. And I don't even see it as my cousin. I see it as my brother. My brother is battling a drug addiction, but he's still in denial. In his head, he's a stoner. But then his actions are not saying that. Like, whatever you do in private, Nwabisa, it will show in public. Whatever you do. And it gets to a point where I always say, the only decision I can make is not to become like you. That is the best decision. I need to be an example, because words, sometimes they don't mean nothing. They don't make sense to you. So I need to show you how it's done. So I'm very worried about him.
Yeah, it's funny enough. Once you mentioned that name, it will come and our video, when the video that I'm literally mashing weed, and people, and what I'm saying at that moment is so vital, but people are just focusing on the action of how
But
and the thing is, that was my truth at that time.
I'm so glad we put that on video.
Because that was me, that is me, or that was me, should I say. And I hated how the fact that everyone was commenting on
the actual weed. Bro, it was not about the weed. You see how the mind works. It identifies negativity.
It came off very negative. I don't want to lie. It came off very negative.
Is it because they were highlighting that?
Yes. No, they were highlighting it in a very condescending manner. It's almost like when people ask about the church, it felt like that.
Shit. And
it felt like that. And people were commenting, laughing about it. I'm a person game night games. I've learned to have a thick skin. I thank our school for that because I've dealt with so many rejections on castings and auditions and all best to the time. Lady for my copying about this and I'm not listening about this out there. So I've dealt with that so many times, and literally drama school prepared me for that world of you're gonna get rejected. They're gonna see, you're gonna see, when are you gonna be like, oh no, Thando likes you. They call you again.
Damn, Nwabisa. I didn't know that video had that kind of effect on you. Because trust me, not to we also get a bit of our comments as well. We see it as they think they're in America. Who do they think they are? Because during that time, after that, we just continued Nsungula. Yeah, we would just go to the park. He sets up shit. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Kind of feel more comfortable, and also, and how can you want to talk and be vulnerable and be honest and not be comfortable?
Mm.
And then get vocal, we can talk. It's almost like when you get into your therapist. When you see a therapist, first thing she says, get comfortable. Reason why? Why does she have to ask you get comfortable? Because only then you'll be wanting to talk. Only then you'll be vulnerable and actually tell you the truth.
Wow.
Because you're comfortable. Listen up. Relax.
Feel at home.
Feel at home. Think of your happy place. Channel that energy in your body. And it manifests in there and that's all.
Therapy also helped me, yes. Luckily at my job, they do have those 3 sessions. For the first time, I thought this was white man shit, man. You know the stigma. Therapy is for white people.
One stereotype that I keep on hearing, like, so listen. Do you know what? Until we get land point, because we had the Badabaka, we have consultant, the salon, you only started cheating. Why are you going to therapy?
You're looking for the...
See, I need that, I'm going to buy it down. People go to the mountain, like I, for once, then they don't realize never doing things I like, but doing them.
Wow. Yeah.
I can share that with people. Not that I'm not gonna open myself to people, but once a day, I go to hiking. That's what I love. Yes, I need an interact with people. I don't have to see them ever again. It's short. It's fine. And
Just about a stranger.
We can have the most wildest conversations. Go up to the mountain to get hipped up, and then never see each other again. But after that, they realize that then you don't need time on you. Because when you get back, it ones in the kind of different ways of chanting, different ways of voice, different ways different ways and different ways. Why? And then I just went back and I was on.
You say you're making a very important point. You're making a very important point.
So tired.
Why are you repeating what my therapist said, Goom? Seriously, Jan, she told me it's the time for you to love yourself. You're between embedded in being a relationship. And I think Ilea and Orlando, yeah, it kind of like became a blanket for when you avoided this grief that you have to face with your mom. This thing of self-love was not the thing that you were focused on. Because you trying to lock people in. So that band, you can't do that.
Without the accent to meet. Because that's what they think in their think. I start.
Sure.
I shine. And then I work. They have to accept that.
It took a while, man. It took actually. And sure. going through school was something else, man. You know, Nwabisa, that was the only place I got a sense of purpose. Yeah, well, through the teachers, through you guys. It's not to be balisa, but it's when home is no longer home. You'd rather be where you feel like you're at home. That's why it was so enjoyable being at Bruce Saka's house. Yeah, but being with Ulamuna and his house, you feel at home.
Do you remember that day? I think it is a Lupumi album by Kendrick.
Oh my
We
God.
danced around it.
Yo.
I don't know which song it was, but that day, I was so fulfilled that day.
We were high as fuck.
We were so
We were high as fuck that day.
One thing, I was so comfortable with you guys. I loved the bond that we just had with each other.
It was beautiful, man. It was so beautiful, Nwabisa. It was so fulfilling. And I think this is a moment that I actually live for. When I look back, especially Mogu's highlight, sure, man, it was so life-changing because you feel needed, you feel heard, you feel seen. And that was the most important thing for me. And give often again this convince and I'll be I'm going to school for myself. My mom at one point, she was so drunk that day. And she said, Yaza, we I'm like, this woman has a point. She has a point. Like, why am I trying to please her by trying to get to school? Because I was old enough, obviously. I lived in a family, even up in NY3, and I still meet them, and I'm challenged, and I'm so grateful for them. I'm gonna take time, I think, before Nyaka to go to them with my daughter because I'm born on social media. Tatumda napatabagambodi and physically, but they're so happy that I have grown, man. They're so happy that they played a positive part in doing that because the most important thing to me in Nwabisa was going to school, man. Because I knew up in Sugakon, ain't shit gonna change.
The thing is, we all gravitated towards each other with one thing. We were all broken. And funny enough, all of us being broken, being together, it made us whole. Because all I asked now people how I had to even travel to get to school. I said Banban, but it doesn't feel as enough. Like, I really wanted to be here. And I'm grateful to be here. And yeah, that's not a problem the whole time. The moment I'm the wrong way.
Yo, man, yo. As much as that was short-lived, but those are one of the most amazing years of my life. I'm gonna lie. Especially also when like that Kalanga. I remember this one time I was still this bad boy, and you said, yo, Thando, you are a smooth operator, and I remember that day very well. But then I look back to like the effect it had. Yeah, even when you shift the focus, yeah, because I kind of needed this and to happen to me so that I can be grounded. You know, like this person that I am, like certain shit had to blow up in my face, and I like saying that. Like, things are gonna blow up in your face. You think, okay, he's on my show, bro. Yo, bro.
Things that happen in my face, and I'm just.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think you missed one. You missed this one.
Come on.
Don't you want to take another jab?
But we have to get used to using the man. They blow up and then you have to start over again. Ukalela and Anobis is one of the hardest things ever. Because you ukala maybe direction. Which way are you gonna start? But to me, like decluttering my circle was one of the most important things. Even before I became a father. I was like, no, man. Well, they're not gonna take me anywhere. because we have to respect each other as human beings, yes? I have to respect the space on Nwabisa. Nwabisa is good at this drama shit. Khona amaxesha Nwabisa man mandingakhe ndiyombona man. Yabo, and khe ndimnike ixesha nje abe right naye. But because umntu ukubona every single day we in the hood, ucinga uba wena ucinga le nto ayicingayo nayo. I don't live for the weekend. I be yabo, as funny, bruh. Like, we don't think the same way, sisonke, man. So ngezinye izinto that I had to leave behind in terms of the inner circle is Tazel, but except, bruh, it has to stop eventually. It has to stop because you become these people that you hang around with. If they're catching on shit, you're gonna become that, nigga. Yeah. Yeah. They say, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. So I didn't want to become a product of the environment, yeah. So when I started doing the show, obviously you're gonna get the backlash, and obvious. And in you getting backlash, people are gonna be like, yeah, where do you think this thing is gonna go? Okay, are you making money out of this? It's like, it's always the people who has nothing.
Why do people want to save us? You know what, man? I saw her today. And she's always actually in this like, oh, and you don't know, nah. But in a nice way. But I love that you just owning up to me. Because I'm showing out, literally all up together, but the world has started a lot of back.
Mm.
I hope you all we are born and we are changed because wow. And don't back what we like was about so and female colors.
Yeah, you can see your own life flash in your very own eyes.
If you would see it now, not well that.
Sure, Nwabisa, bro.
Besicho. It's a kumbula winner. What? Some kids. They come get on what but anyway. Maybe going to watch it. You know this one was so long I took say America. Like why? Why is that? You may have to be American.
We're so influenced by Americans, Goto and Nwabisa. Remember, we watched the television shows, the Kardashians.
I hope you don't mind me.
Nah, it's chill, man. I just love the smell. And many people are still in denial that for 14 years, you've been a weed smoker, and then all of a sudden you stop smoking. I'm like, guys, it's a decision I made. Even now, it's like the more I stopped, the more I started to meet about and work and full go, but nah, I'm not in a place of judgment. Even my stepfather, he's a person who smokes and he drinks a lot. But Nwabisa, one of the things you mentioned that you shouldn't give yourself the opportunity to disrespect him based on the actions is like, because now he even apologizes, going Thando yo, bra, and was like up and
Go calling me. So I'll be practice when me. The sun but open any date, so in our I'm not. So all part of was on this really Evans and Tibo. New Kosan and Kosawa Kosada, things in the subway. And then on time when confronting too short, telling tunes and that then come fathoms at the twilight. That's brother long numbers and telling up along. Sapay Dan Santa. Friendly Takadon, Scoma Slim Takabenzi, Kabubara about Otik Brains. Not that's up to his lips. So I've been getting sitting no, Nanette. Sitting no, don't say sorry. You had fun, you enjoyed yourself. And you haven't been like this. And it's okay. You have now control over this. So we no longer look at you differently. It's okay. And she just cries. And like, it's fine. This was never me.
Hero.
I'm like, who's that? Oh my word.
Say, yeah, this is about chaos.
See what? Lynch.
Yo, for that change, we're obvious. Nah, your stepfather, he's also going through a lot, man. Because he's married most. The reason why I call him my stepfather is because he played the father role. He literally is my father, but he treats me like I'm his brother. Like literally, he says that I have older brothers, like I want to know about my mom, but I can't have certain conversations now. But there are days where he would come to me and say, "Yo, bro, I haven't eaten for a week. I haven't eaten for a certain amount of time." And with beliefs and which is your time, I'll understand. And I'm like, you don't need to explain yourself. Because I told him, I have a manja, I'll make sure that you're good. But then I get pissed off weird because we fell off way clash and then I'm thinking at night. But no, man, Thando, never anditi. Ben City, at the end of the day, you don't have a boundary that you can depend on. And they can't even be there for when. So, if whether you can just hit me up, nah, I don't complain. Because I know that will come back for me. Nah. Like, it's not going to come back the way that we think it will. But if you are in a position to help someone, then you should help that person. Especially during that time, because this is the guy that for me to go to school. Because he was like, Thando, when the full uniform, no, but if a break, then don't. You made it, God. Whether and the figure partner, God, like this is our feeding scheme because I don't have food in my stomach. But the most important thing, I wanted to be there. And there are so many homes where kids have it easy, man, but they lack that hunger. You still wanted to go to school because you're born in and instead of you becoming a victim of it, you decided to be a victor of it. And this is why I decided to be at school so that I can be around you guys. These guys are going to tell me, yo, Thando, you good, do this, do that. No predlo, nai. I don't know what she saw in me, yes, la mama. She said, nah, I could teach a history class. Because apparently you guys could understand me more than understand the because obviously she's a teacher. But then for her to see what I didn't see in myself, sure, I still don't understand how it happened. But it did, man. That was the parent, bruh. Yo, bruh, we needed that. I needed that a lot, man. Because willingly, awuyazi noba ish awufika emekweni njani. What are we gonna eat? Zawufika la sisiphi isithongo kuthiwa oh kwenzeke le ubani belapha and so on. Yo, bruh. It was very hurting when Nwabisa, but there was something to take away from that. My child can't go through the same thing I went through. She is gonna be the better version of me. That's why I'm laying the foundation even go. Having investments accounts, making sure that she's good, building a relationship now in the family, mama can all of that. She can't go through that. And obviously, I love her too much for her to go through that. That's why whatever I can give when they are meek. And it's also a compensation for what I wasn't given. Because the mom said,
that's why I tend to absent children brings fault children. She should have spoiled that children because they're local. So compensate. They like this doing the and from like this. Man, like man.
Was I man?
Just want it.
Yeah, we'll make a way. It's exciting, man. It's gonna be December very soon, and you're
the year, no child.
no buying pampers. By the time you guys have children, that's why you gotta boss up and get that bag, man. Like everything requires money, and if they told us from an early age, well, we should be like money orientated, not entirely, but at the end of the day, money makes things easy, guys. I always say this, like, see, I had a 16, 17-year-old on the show. And I told him, during the holidays, make sure reach out to your stepfather, go earn some money, bro. Even if it's 200, 100 rand. By the time you get out of school, you understand that money is earned and it's not given. Your friend's situation is not the same as you. Maybe one of their moms are going to buy them Jordans, do all this kind of stuff. When you're not in that position, because your mom is your mom and dad. So grind kwangoku, zifundisa amandla akho. Because once usifundise loo nto, trust me, you're going to be thankful. You'll be thankful. What?
Options. I happen to be interactive with Nwabisa Anita Mxobo. In Hungary, I care. I'm just like,
No.
I'm not speaking to a 20-year-old. This cannot be happening.
why do I feel like a 20-year-old and I feel like you feel like the 28-year-old in this instance?
Shit.
I wanted to touch back on what we were talking about initially, and I happened to be in a relationship who lost someone who lost two very significant people. I remember. And at that moment, I feel like we won't get into the guy. You're not supposed to taking all this on this new world as well, or to an aunt to a mother, from a sister to now you have to be my caregiver in a certain instance. In certain instances as well. But I know that it wasn't support. There wasn't support them, but I'm just bounding that in that. No. And given the British like then support in support engine. Try to wait for her. Typically, words or my comforting words. What do I do? Do I sit there and just, okay, let's pretend nothing happened? Do we talk about it? How do I support you? How do I be there for you? Because, okay, when you haven't cried or you're not going to be vulnerable, but
She was an expressive person.
she's very expressive. She's very expressive. I think also not expressive.
Wow.
It's a calm, speaker, and but you should never go into not be afraid, but you should overall, become expressive and articulate in it's as. And we will see I'm going to do that all year, but I think I don't talk more. I don't know why that is so. I do speak, but every time I say something, I don't feel like I'm hurt. So now, tend to not say more. So, how do you deal with that?
So you'd rather not talk at all because when you talk, you don't show your hands.
Yeah, I talk, but it's like, I don't understand. But you're saying you, one thing meaning me, but am I not supposed to be letting you know? And maybe quote unquote, I'm making myself a victim. But I'm like, no, this is how I'm feeling. This is how you made me feel. Despite that fact that I might have made you feel a certain way, but this is how you made me feel. Or it's an instance of saying, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Instead of saying, no, it's not I'm sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry that you think that way. Something like that, but it's almost like in a very condescending way, not talking about finishing and but it's almost like you are making it up on your end. Not making it up on your end, but I can't seem to grasp the word that is difficult to communicate with. There's a lack of on my end out.
So you're not on the same wavelength, Rachel. Do you still see us, Orion? No. Because communication saves relation.
I've been with this person for 5 years, but a lot has happened. But other than that, it was mainly because we all started with
Yeah, well, I think I almost made a very stupid decision once, yes. I nearly took my own life because I would say I let the emotion get the best of me. I started to believe the lies that I was being told. I never realized that you can literally give in to the lies. And once you do, you can make a split decision, Nwabisa, and you're no longer here. I have a child, for goodness sake, and I'm really angry at myself for thinking that way. Because now I was going to die with all my good shit in me. It's nice to talk about the feeling of dying. But what about the people that you're going to leave behind with questions?
makes me think of we recently, not in 17, I think 2 months ago, we lost a colleague. It hadn't happened to my friend's brother as well, younger brother. Well, probably had always had a smile. Very charming as well. And just like that, we saw him today, the following day, had hung himself, had taken his own life, and left nothing. Just what? Thando Nkonyana bought a TV for himself and the Samobuya. Just bought a TV for himself. On the night before, then a couple of a couple of milk, a couple of coffee in there. Then he took a guy.
Yeah. Damn, man. What is going on, Nwabisa? We look so happy on the outside, but on the inside, we're dying, man. We're literally dying. Sure, we are a messed up generation, man. I'm sorry to say that. Yeah.
They have so many happy souls that are all gone. It's all with energy. And funny enough, this is triggering something in me because we're going to Stranger Things. And I didn't realize I'm going to like Stranger Things.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And it's triggering how energy works with the world. And it made me wonder now that I'm thinking like, if Karol we're filling this cosmic world with negative energy, the world is going to get dark. Because our soul light to ourselves. And we are the energy that live in this world.
Shit, man.
So it's almost like I think like Danny, but also Sabulala at the same time. Realizing.
No.
What a tit.
Where is the man with cream salad? Yeah, tell me what one. Sure. So we're not helping one another, and but Sabulala.
And Sabulala in a manner of even without energy wise, without being hidden. Sabulala in a sense can walk as a wonder. And in my name, only accumulate. That's how Sabulala and the 9 actions that are around. I don't want to see my next door neighbor progress. I don't want to see my next door neighbor achieve their goals and inspiration.
Damn.
But still with that, divine is again planning to get is in plan. Of you make your net action rate as in dark. Twalisa. Although how do you think we can survive?
This why it's gonna be easy for the devil to come when there's a stable. Then you're gone. We're like, hey, but we had everything. Because positions don't hide what you're going through.